हम सब मिलकर टोक्यो जाने वाले अपने खिलाड़ियों को सपोर्ट करेंगे। चीयर फॉर इंडिया, चीयर फॉर इंडिया, चीयर फॉर इंडिया।
वहां एथलीट्स दम लगाएंगे, आप यहां से हौसला बढ़ाओ। चीयर फॉर इंडिया।
Hello, Namaskar and a very warm welcome to our special bulletin #Cheer4India. We are just 6 days and 17 hours away from the mega event and Team India is all set up and ready to get into the action. Cheering with all energy for our Tokyo-bound athletes. Here we bring you latest updates on Olympics from India and across the world. So let's start with a special edition #Cheer4India. India will field a record 15-member shooting squad, which is seen as a strong gold medal hope for the country in the Tokyo Olympics. In the sports extravaganza, all eyes will remain fixed on India's shooting contingent, which has emerged as the strongest gold medal hope for the country.
Since the turn of the century, shooting has become India's brightest spark at the Olympics. It is a sport where India has excelled and is widely expected to reach new heights in Tokyo. Boasting a plethora of talented shooters, the current Indian shooting contingent is stronger than ever. There are a number of reasons why shooting will be India's biggest medal hope in the upcoming Olympics. With an unprecedented 15 quota places secured, India is all set to send their largest ever shooting contingent to Olympics. The list of qualified shooters includes Manu Bhakar, Saurabh Chaudhary, Yashashwini Singh Deswal, Abhishek Verma, Rahi Sarmabat, Eravanil Valarivan, Apurvi Chandela, Anjum Mudgal, Divyan Singh Panwar, Deepak Kumar, Sanjeev Rajput, Tejaswini Sawant, Aishwarya Pratap Singh Tomar, Mairaj Ahmad Khan and Angad Veer Singh Bajwa. With talent oozing all over, that is the list any nation would be envious of. Having won at least a medal in the sport in 3 of the last 4 Olympic Games, there are a number of homegrown heroes in the sport. In 2004 Athens Olympics, Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore put India on the map of world shooting by winning a silver medal in the men's double trap event. 4 years later, Abhinav Bindra went one better when he claimed the gold medal in Beijing Olympics. Bindra's gold in men's 10-meter air rifle event remains India's only individual gold medal to date. In London Olympics 2012, India doubled its medal tally in sport. Gagan Narang won bronze in the men's 10-meter air rifle event, whereas Vijay Kumar secured a silver in the men's 25-meter rapid-fire pistol. In addition, Joydeep Karmakar produced a notable performance, finishing 4th in the 50-meter rifle prone event. Of the 15 Indian shooters in action, 7 of them are aged 25 years or below. There is a perfect blend of youth and experience in the squad. However, much of the excitement regarding the Indian shooting is because of the youngsters who will fly to Tokyo. It is not just individual events where Indians are expected to shine. The mixed team events also hold a good chance of winning a medal. There will be a total of 4 teams competing, 2 each in 10-meter air pistol and 10-meter air rifle events. Manu Bhakar, Saurabh Chaudhary and Abhishek Verma, Yashashwini Singh Deswal will pair up for air pistol. On the other hand, Elavanil Valarivan and Divyan Singh Panwar and Anjum Mudgal, Deepak Kumar will be seen in action in the air rifle mixed team category. Going into the Tokyo Olympics, Indian shooters will be full of verve. ISSF World Cup 2021 in New Delhi turned out to be the most successful event in Indian shooting history. The 10 meters men's air pistol ranking saw Abhishek Verma and Saurabh Chaudhary holding world number 1 and number 2 spots respectively. It is the same story in women's equivalent category where Yashashwini Singh Deswal and Manu Bhakar occupy the top spots. The 10-meter men's and women's air rifle rankings also have at least one Indian holding the top 2 positions. Now it is to be seen how Indian shooters perform in Tokyo Olympics 2020 and how many laurels they bring for the country. Sports Desk, DD India.
And I'm joined by two eminent sports personalities, Mr. Joydeep Karmakar, former Olympian and shooter, and Mr. Vivek Sabli, General Secretary, Malakhamb Federation of India. Good evening and a very warm welcome to our special edition #Cheer4India. Thank you so much to both of you for joining us. So starting with you, Mr. Joydeep Karmakar, India is all set to field a record number of 15 shooting squad at Olympics this time. How strong is the contingent looking?
I think historically this will be, of course, one of the strongest team ever to go for the Olympics as far as the shooting team is concerned. And as we speak right now, I think the team has already left Amsterdam and the flight is going towards Tokyo, and maybe in 4 hours or 5 hours from now, they will land in Tokyo. And the preparation is almost over now. It's time for the battle to begin in 7 days' time. And I think the team of 15, with a mix of young blood and experienced veterans, as we know that for 18 years old, Divyansh Panwar is the youngest athlete from the Indian contingent, the entire Indian contingent, and 45, at 45, Mehraj Ahmed Khan in skeet events is the eldest athlete in the Indian contingent. Both are shooters. Even if we go for the women category, 41 years old, Tejaswini Sawant, the veteran in shooting, world champion. So we have a huge bench strength this time, and I think this is the USP of the Indian shooting team, which is going to do wonders in a week's time.
So what impact, because we are seeing a mix of youth and experience over here, what impact is it going to have on the upcoming Olympics?
See, they have been preparing very well. I think no other shooters ever were so much prepared than this team. Yes, of course, there are like stalwarts like, as already named, Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore of silver in 2004, the only individual Olympic gold medal coming from Abhinav Binda, the greatest shooter ever produced. But then this is a team, I would say. Those were stars. When others were also there at the Olympics, but they were not expected to win medals. Maybe at times Vijay Kumar, a surprise package came out, and in 2012 won a silver. But this time around, there's multiple chances of shooters getting medals because the bench strength in the Indian shooting team is immense. Earlier we used to envy the Chinese team because when we looked at the stars of Chinese shooting team, they failed. Somebody else overtook them to win the gold. So that is something which is going to happen here in Tokyo Olympics in a week's time.
This will probably be the largest shooting squad that will represent India. But talking about first year, Mr. Sabli, coming on to you, can we see India's oldest sport for the first time, Malakhamb, at Olympics in demonstration?
Yeah, sure. So, as Tokyo gears up for the Olympics, Malakhamb Federation of Japan has proposed to the International Olympic Council that a demonstration of the sport can be presented at the 2020 Olympics. And definitely it is possible that this would be a boost to the game. This is the oldest ancient game from India.
And Mr. Karmakar, coming back to you, mixed team has a new feel to the sport right now. What would be the expectation, and will there be any kind of big match pressure on them?
See, mixed team events is an event which is introduced in Tokyo Olympics for the first time, and I think India stands a good chance here because we have been topping the list in 2019. All the 4 World Cup final, all the Indians won all the medals, gold medals in 2019. So going by that, definitely we have a very big chance. And if I won't be surprised if even 2 teams, which India is filling like 2 teams in air rifle and air pistol category. So even if there is a fight for the medal from 2 Indian teams, I won't be surprised. Maybe they're fighting for a gold and a silver. That would be the best thing which could happen for entire Indian contingent. 2 Indian teams fighting for gold and silver. And I think for the first time, mostly young shooters are there in the team. Of course, there are veterans also in the team in mixed event I'm talking about. So I think this will be the biggest or a sure shot chance for Indians to win a medal. I think is the mixed event. So I'm not saying that individual events are being neglected. Of course, there are huge possibilities from individual shooters like Ella Venil. She's in tremendous form. Manu Bhaker, there is Rahi Sarnobat winning the World Cup gold medal a few weeks back. Then there is Saurabh Chaudhary, the biggest hope the Indians are looking up to. I think there is a powerhouse in every one of them.
Due to the lockdown period, Mr. Karmakar, the squad had to face a major halt. We all are aware of that. But has the team been able to cope up with that thing?
Yes, I think they have been preparing in Croatia for the last couple of months, and training has been in discipline, rigorous, and they worked very hard. The coaches, I would say, the support staff, and everybody. They were doing amazing there, and they did very well in the European Championship as guest participants. And the World Cup also. I think they have prepared well. It was difficult back in India, of course, training. It was a tremendous effort from the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, as well as the Federation. They had a chartered flight for the entire team to fly to Croatia and train for a couple of months. That was boon. That was the best thing which could have been done at that moment to support the Indian shooting team prepare well for Tokyo. I think they are well prepared. Yes, there is depression all over the world. It is not only for the Indians. All athletes are suffering. The training is hampered, and when they reach Tokyo, they will be facing a new challenge. I'm sure that they have prepared for it, but in the next 7 days, they won't be able to train at the venue, which is again a big disaster, I would say. But it is all for all. It's not only for the Indian shooters or Indian athletes, I would say. So I think they have mentally prepared for this, because the corona and the pandemic is nothing new for us anymore. It's been here for 1.5 years, and people are going through bad time, but they're getting used to. And especially when it comes to Olympics, everybody wants to give their best. So whatever is the anything negative things around, they will overlook, and they will surpass all the hurdles and obstacles to walk towards their goal.
Right, coming on to you, Mr. Sable, while the number of youth representing India is on a high, we have many women also participating this time in Olympics, and that too internationally. Your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. So, if you see, this is the archery, shooting, and even weightlifting, badminton. There are a lot of women are participating, and it will definitely encouraging for the all Indians and proud moment for us.
Right. Coming back to you, Mr. Karmakar, how about individual players like Saurabh Chaudhary and Manu Bhaker?
Yes, if everything goes right, 24th, maybe 7:30 in the morning, we might have a good news coming from Tokyo, the first medal, because the air rifle events are taking place on the first day, 7:30 a.m., 24th of August. And we are hoping a great amount of promise is coming from Ella Venil Valarivan. She is in great form. She's world number 1 in air rifle. Apurvi Chandela, again, her second Olympics, she is prepared well. And then there comes Saurabh Chaudhary. Like all 3 events, people are expecting a lot from him. I think he hasn't won a silver in any competitions, marching ahead to Tokyo. So that is something very special coming from Saurabh Chaudhary. And I think not only us, but athletes or coaches or supporters, I think the whole country is looking up to him, that he delivers there in Tokyo. But I would say again, it is not about names and stars anymore. It is about the team as a whole, which is so strong that even mishaps happen, and that is the reality of the games. It's the biggest show on earth. If maybe if Saurabh fails on that day, something happens for his match, there is again world number 1 behind him, I would say. If you have world number 1 behind you, he can overtake you and take the medal. It is, at the end of the day, the medal for the country matters. It's not about the stars or names, I would say. Full respect to all the athletes, young and old and everybody. But it's about medal with the country wins, and whosoever wins it, it is big for us. Right.
Can Manu Bhaker also face stiff competition against Olena, who has been 2004 Olympic gold medalist?
Yes, there's a big challenge coming from new athletes also, some experienced athletes also. But my major concern will be the Chinese shooters who are invisible for the last, maybe a year or so, because we don't know their standards yet. They are not coming to any World Cups, any competitions. They are sending maybe an MQS or an extra shooter. They're not sending their main team. And as far as we have seen this Tokyo's Chinese team, I would say 50% or more are new shooters. We haven't heard their names, and we have to mind that they have all defeated the old seasoned Olympic medalists from China team to come to this, to get selected for this team in this, for Tokyo. So it has to be kept a very good watch on the Chinese when they perform there, because we don't know what level they are in. So I think the Chinese might be giving a very steep opposition to Indian shooters, who are the favorites at this time. But again, Chinese people are always giving some surprise packages in every Olympics, and last Olympics also we have seen they have topped the chart in shooting. So huge respect for the shooters from China. So we won't be satisfied with a few World Cup results or the world ranking of 1 or 2 or 3. As of now, we need to be strong and hold our place there, be very steady, be calm, and be prepared for a very steep competition in Tokyo from the Chinese, from the Europeans, from the US as well.
Right. My last question to Mr. Sable. The contingent is ever stronger this time in Tokyo Olympics from India. How about Team Malakam from Japan? How are they cheering for India?
Yeah, so definitely miss the Malakam team and even the Indian community in Japan who have been waiting to welcome and cheer the Indian athletes from Olympic venues. But still we are promoting cheer for India movement here in Japan as well.
Right. Mr. Karmakar, your message to all Indian sports fans from across the world for the Olympics.
My message will be cheer for India, for of course, this is our slogan, this is our strength for supporting our athletes there. They have prepared very well. They have been working very hard for us, and we should be there for them. Even if they don't make it to the top, we should always support them. And it is not only that we will cheer the winners, we will respect, we will cheer for all the fighters there, even if they don't win a medal, but their belief, we need to believe that our country will be one of the biggest winners this time, not compared to others, but like fighting our own history, that we will be winning the best medal ever, best medal haul this time as compared to other Olympics in the past.
Right. Mr. Sable, your message to fans.
Yeah, so as you know, so this is, I believe that this is the strongest ever Indian squad for this showpiece event. So I wish all them very best luck and stay safe. So as you know, there are stricter regulations that have been put in place against the athletes and officials traveling to Tokyo. It's a different debate, but the rules that are laid down are for the greater good.
Right.
So let's take it positively and do your best.
Participating is bigger than winning. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us today in our special edition #Cheer4India. And now let's take a look at on what all days Indian shooting contingent will be playing at the Tokyo Olympics, and here are the graphics for you. On 24th of July at Osaka Shooting Range, we will have women's 10-meter air rifle qualifications. Apurvi Chandela and Elavanil Valerivan will be playing. Men's 10-meter air pistol qualification and final, Saurabh Chaudhary and Abhishek Verma on 24th. Next, we have 25th of July, Sunday, Osaka Shooting Range again. We would have women's 10-meter air pistol qualification and final, Manu Bhaker and Yashaswini Deswal will be playing. Men's 10-meter air rifle qualification, we also have Deepak Kumar and Divyansh Singh Pawar will be there on 25th. On 26th July, Monday, Osaka Shooting Range again, we have men's skeet qualification, Angad Bajwa and Mehraj Ahmed Khan. And next, we have on 27th of July, which is Tuesday, Osaka shooting range. We have 10-meter air pistol mixed team qualification, Saurabh Chaudhary and Manu Bhakar, Abhishek Verma, as well as Yashaswini Deswal. 10-meter rifle mixed team, Deepak Kumar and Anjum Modgil, Divyansh Singh Pawar and Elavanil Valeravan. On 30th July, Friday, Osaka shooting range again, we have our Indian players Manu Bhakar and Rahi Sarnobat in women's 25-meter pistol qualification. Next we have 31st of July, which is a Saturday, and we would be having women's 50-meter rifle 3 positions qualification, Anjum Modgil, Tejaswini Sawant. Next we have 2nd of August, again it would be Osaka shooting range. We have men's 50-meter rifle 3 positions qualification, Sanjeev Rajput and Ishwari Tomar will be there. We are taking a look at our Indian contingent. And moving on, we have our next story which will make your day. India is cheering with all heart for our Olympic-bound contingent, and here's a video that will fill you up with enthusiasm watching these kids cheering for Team India led by ace and former athlete P.T. Usha herself. Athletes at the Tokyo Olympics will put their medals around their necks to protest against spreading the coronavirus. The very significant change and an update to traditional medal ceremonies in the 339 events was revealed by the IOC President Thomas Bach. The medals will not be given around the neck, and rather they will be presented to the athlete on a tray, and then the athlete will make the medal him or herself. And that's all for today, but we will be back with latest updates tomorrow, again touching new disciplines and bringing you a lot more. Meanwhile, please stay safe and keep cheering for Team India. You can also share your messages for Team India on our social media pages of DD India and use hashtag Cheer4India. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
हम सब मिलकर टोक्यो जाने वाले अपने खिलाड़ियों को सपोर्ट करेंगे। चीयर फॉर इंडिया, चीयर फॉर इंडिया, चीयर फॉर इंडिया।
वहां एथलीट्स दम लगाएंगे, आप यहां से हौसला बढ़ाओ। चीयर फॉर इंडिया।